nuts, boss.
It gets better.
Now we're talking.
Hello there, I'm Travis McPhee, and I'm here to share with you today a brief recap of our proposed project. Our primary goal was to raise $800 for the Boys and Girls Club of Bloomington Normal. We also created two secondary goals, those being 1. A 50-50 raffle at a sporting event, and also contacting local businesses to donate products for us to raffle off as well. 2nd, we will hold a change drive on campus and ask people and local businesses to donate money. While conducting the change drive, we will also raise awareness for the Boys and Girls Club of Bloomington Normal. We concluded by stating if we were able to raise $300 for each secondary goal, that it would be a success. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is a brief recap of our proposed project.
Our initial plans for fundraising were to conduct 50-50 raffles prior to home football games. These initial plans changed once we realized that the group goal of raising $800 would not be reached. We decided to team up with a local restaurant and have a fundraising day. Along with doing so, we reached out to businesses in the area and asked for donations. Well, gotta run. One of the major difficulties that the group encountered was applying for a raffle license. It was advised to fill out and submit the application 2 months prior to the event. Knowing this information, we decided to try and stick to this timeline, but we ran into problems getting the application notarized. Because of this problem, we were not sure if we would be able to turn in the application early enough to get it processed. If the problem was not fixed, it could have ruined our whole fundraiser. Knowing this, we brainstormed fundraising ideas other than a raffle, while keeping in close contact with the Boys and Girls Club. We overcame the problem by rallying up all personnel needed to sign the application along with someone to notarize it. In the end, the application was received on time and the raffle went off without a problem.
One person would start something and it would just bounce off of each other. I came up with the Meatheads fundraiser because I know the director of fundraising there. We work really closely together, so I thought it would be a good idea for me to talk to him and see what kind of fundraising options we had with them, and everyone in the group thought that was a really good idea. We also threw out doing a 50-50 raffle at different up-and-coming football games. We also all thought it would be a cool idea to see if there were any businesses in Uptown or Bloomington that would be willing to donate gift cards that we could also raffle off. We knew that one was going to be a little bit more difficult, but we figured we would try anyway, and we all talked about who was going to get what gift cards and when we are all going to go and everything. And another idea that we came up with that we didn't end up pursuing was the coin wars on the quad. We were going to try to get in contact with another group and have coin wars with them. We never got in contact with another group, and we decided coin wars would be our last and final option if we weren't to make our goal. We were really informal in our decision-making process. We all were really comfortable with each other and very friendly. The process that I would say we use is brainstorming. The book says that groups use brainstorming when they are facing a problem that has many answers, and I would say that falls under us because we are trying to come up with different ways to fundraise, and there is so many different ways out there that you can fundraise. So we pretty much just bounce ideas off of each other, and one person would say something and another person would just kind of come back with something else, and so we just relayed information and decided our best options would be the Meatheads fundraiser and the 50-50, and we are very, very close to making our goal, so we're adding a couple more in there, but those were the ones that we decided, and those were brainstorming is the decision-making process that we used.
Overall, when I think of group roles in our group, I think that we were very, very flexible in our roles. Despite assigning roles in our second week as a group on September 12th, we were often very lenient about those roles. Not everyone always did specifically what their role was assigned, and we kind of like blended roles, I guess you can say. Our assigned leader was Eniola, and she often personified this role, I believe, although other leaders kind of formed throughout our group. Specifically, I think that Bree was a really, really big leader throughout our time as a group. She often pushed us toward our goal and really kept everyone on track, especially in our meetings. I feel like she was very, very on task throughout the times that we had meetings, and kind of people, deviant roles kind of emerged. She was the one who was always like, let's get this done. These are things we need to do. She was a really awesome informal leader in a way throughout our group. Despite this, I also think Eniola did her role very well also. On October 10th, she took charge writing the letter proposal. She herself kind of put herself in that position, was like, I'm going to write this. This is a pretty complicated thing to do, but I myself will write it and do that for you guys. So that was a very leadership type thing she did during that meeting. Also on October 10th, Andrew, who is our liaison, talked to Grant a lot. He went to a meeting the day before and got a lot of information for us, and kind of developed a personal relationship with Grant throughout the time as a group, and he was often the one to talk to Grant about things that we needed. When we needed like letterheads for our letters that we were giving to businesses and stuff, he was always the one that would call Grant and get those things. He also was in contact with the licensing people so we can get our raffle license, which helped us out a lot. So he really contacted a lot of people throughout our time as a group. Justine, who was assigned the treasurer role, showed her role very well, as seen in November 7th during our video. She discussed a lot about the money and what we made during our 2 raffles. She kind of pushed us to like make more. She was like, all right, we have this much more to make, and we have this much money to put together already. And she also distributed reimbursements to people who bought things like the raffle tickets, and then got Andrew, who got the licensings for us. So that really helped us and showed her treasurer role. Bree also, I believe, like I said before, exemplified a really big team leader role. Specifically on October 17th, she personally contacted a bunch of people and kind of got a Meatheads fundraiser going for us. She contacted a man named Jared, I believe, and kind of got the ball rolling on that, and then confirmed it in the end on October 17th for us. She really took charge on that one, I think. Erin was also her formal role was recorder, and she was very, very good at that role. As you can see in almost every single one of our agenda and meeting minutes, she was very organized with that, and it really helped us a lot, and helped us now where we have to make these videos. We can look back and have very detailed, good notes on each thing that we did throughout our meetings. Overall, though, I think that our roles are really flexible. I found this personally really beneficial for our group because we all worked together to reach our goals, and in the long run everyone did what they could. It was nice to be able to depend on everyone to get jobs done, even if they weren't jobs that were specifically made for that role. We could say like, you may be the liaison, but can you count this money for us? Or you're the treasurer, but can you please go talk to this business? And I know we did that a lot. Like Justine and Bree and I went and talked to businesses, and we weren't liaisons, but we definitely took charge in that. And Andrew counted some of the money after our raffles, even though he wasn't the treasurer, so there was a lot of flexibility going on throughout our group. It allowed us to avoid a lot of role strain and role conflict because nobody really fought over what specific role they wanted to be or stressed about anything getting assigned that wasn't actually part of their role. So it kind of allowed us to not really fight or have any type of conflict, I believe, in our group. We never fought, so it was really good. And I think that was a great way for us to kind of conduct our roles. The only drawback I really see in this is that some people kind of did more than others. I know that a lot of people kind of took group leader roles, and a lot took liaison roles throughout the time, but then there were a lot of people who kind of just didn't really do that and didn't take that initiative. Despite that, as a group, we worked very, very hard together and got everything done that we needed. I think that we did awesome and completed our tasks the way that we wanted them to.
Our group socialization process was best illustrated by Carol Anderson's model of small group socialization. Her model contains 5 phases, which are the antecedent phase, the anticipatory phase, the encounter phase, assimilation phase, and exit phase. And then a possible outcome of the group socialization could be cohesion. in the end, we jumped around these phases. We didn't go through them in that exact order. The first stage that our group went through was the anticipatory phase, and we kind of displayed that like the first day that we were assigned our groups, and we kind of met each other. We established like group expectations, both like relational and task, like as far as like rules that we set for the group and for the semester. So that was the first stage that we went through, and then after the anticipatory stage, we went into the antecedent, which was best illustrated by our first meeting, where we each came in with some of the communication activities from the first couple chapters completed. And so we went over our communication style, our levels of argumentativeness, and we also talked a little bit about our own like beliefs and just a little bit more background information about us, like where we're from, like age, ethnicity, and things like that. So that kind of gave us a better idea of like who we're going to be spending the rest of the semester with. And that went pretty well. We're all very excited to work with each other, and it didn't seem like as if there were going to be very many conflicts between people, and so that was pretty exciting. And so after going through anticipatory phase and antecedent, we moved into the encounter phase, which is actually kind of simultaneous to the antecedent, just because that was when we first came together to establish goals and rules, which actually happened also in that same lecture where we first met each other and determined what our semester rules and group rules would be. And so we also kind of went into that more, the meeting where we like constructed our charter and delegated who's going to be doing what part, and then the following meeting after that where we had the charter completed and we actually went through it and established what we were all like working towards and were to expect of each other. And then the final phase, well, not final, the fourth phase that we went through was the assimilation phase. And that's when we started kind of, I don't know, being more together, or we, like, I established more of like a team identity. And that was most evident like in our lectures on Tuesdays. We would all come in and like just automatically sit next to each other in one row, which kind of made it easier because whenever we had like group assignments to do in class, we wouldn't have to move around like some of the other groups. And that wasn't even something that we like verbally established. It just kind of like happened naturally as things went on, which was pretty cool. So yeah, we like were excited to see each other and sit next to each other and, I don't know, hang out in the back. And then the last phase is the exit phase, and we haven't gotten there yet because we're not completely done with the project. And I don't know, it's gonna be sad, I think, because we really got along very well as a group, and I think that it's been a good semester and people have kind of got what they wanted out of it. Like one of the things that we established were we want an A and we want to also like have fun, and both of those things I think are happening for everyone. So yeah, I think that that's going to be a sad day when we finally have to accept that it's over and not be friends, except we probably will still be friends. And then I think that as we assimilated, we reached this level of cohesion, though, like I was saying, with lecture and sitting next to each other and actually like being excited to come to meetings and hang out. And so, yeah, our group socialization was pretty positive, I'd say, overall. Yay! A-team! I don't know if that's our like, but there it is.
Did two 50-50 raffles at the football tailgates for our fundraiser for the Boys and Girls Club. The first raffle was on October 26th, and Caitlin, Bree, Justine, Eniola, and myself walked around and asked group of tailgaters for donations and if they wanted to get inside the raffle. The raffle tickets were $1 each, and it was family weekend, so there was a lot of parents there, and they really wanted to help out, and it was a really successful event. Caitlin made an awesome sign. It said Boys and Girls Club 50-50 raffle. So it really attracted everyone's attention when we were walking around holding up the sign. So it helped us make a lot of money. The second event was on November 2nd, and Andrew, Kyra, and myself walked around doing the same thing. The only thing we did different was we gave people deals, like they were $1 for 1 ticket, or $5 for 6 tickets, or $10 for 13 tickets. So that really helped us out a lot because people thought they were getting this deal. So a lot of people were willing to buy the $10 tickets to better their odds of winning the raffle. At the end of the game, we told everyone that we would draw the tickets during the fourth quarter just because we knew that people would still be around tailgating. We'd hate for someone to leave town. So we pulled during fourth quarter and we called the winners, and we actually met up with them and gave them the 50% of our profits. The first winner on the October 22nd game, he was kind of young and he was really excited and he thanked us a lot. And the winner at the November 2nd raffle, she was actually so sweet, and she donated her winnings back to the Boys and Girls Club. So she told us we could keep it, and it was really awesome. She was really nice to us. So all in all, our events were a success because we got to promote what the Boys and Girls Club did, because a lot of people were asking us, how does the Boys and Girls help the children, and what are you guys doing for the Boys and Girls Club? They were curious why we were raising money. So it gave us the opportunity to talk about the great things that the Boys and Girls Club does. So our events were a success, and we're planning on doing another fundraiser in the future. And if it was as fun as we did that first one, then it'll be great.
Although we didn't reach our goal of $800, I feel like we actually accomplished a lot. We had 2 different fundraisers, and we had a Meatheads fundraiser, and we had 2 very generous donations from 2 different businesses in Bloomington Normal. I think what we did really well was when we did our raffle fundraising, we went around to people at a family weekend, which was probably our best idea because a lot of times students don't really want to spend their money. They don't have a lot of money to spend, but all the families were there, so parents were able to buy a lot of tickets. And so we did that raffle for 2 weekends, and it worked out really well. I think we got awareness out there. People kept asking us questions about what the Boys and Girls Club actually was, and we were able to tell them. A lot of people got really excited about it, which was really awesome. So I think that in our project we achieved really awareness and we made our goals for that specific day. Something that we didn't achieve was our actual goal of raising the $800, but we came really, really close, which I think was really awesome because I kind of had doubts in the beginning of raising that much money in the first place. I thought that was kind of a far out goal, but we actually almost got there, and I'm actually really proud of our group for that. I think another goal that we definitely reached was how well we worked as a group together. We everyone really pulled their part, and I think that in the beginning maybe everyone was worried that none of this would even work out, and it worked out just as well as I think that the class would have hoped. For our task outcomes, we had some informational problems when we wanted to do the raffle at family weekend, and we didn't realize that parking and setting up a table would be kind of an issue. So what we ended up doing was instead of setting up a table and only getting a certain amount of people coming out to us, we walked around instead and sold tickets, so we were able to hit up more people for raffle tickets. And we had analytical problems, which were when we wanted to do the Meatheads fundraiser. We weren't able to do as well as we thought because we thought passing out flyers and getting the information out there would be a lot easier than it actually was. So we didn't raise as much money as we thought we would with that part of the project. We also had some procedural problems with the Meatheads fundraiser, because I think the date came up really quick and we just kind of weren't ready for it. And by the time we wanted to pass out flyers, it was like really rainy that day, and the timing just didn't work really well for that part.
I think our group is very satisfied. I feel like we did what we could and we did the best we could. The raffles went very well. I think we were very happy with the amount of money that we raised from the raffles. I know we would have liked to raise more money and we would have been happier, but if we would have raised more, but overall we were very happy with the work that we've done. Going off of that, I think we are also very happy with our group as a whole. We all worked well together. I don't think there was one argument in our group ever. We had a whole group, our whole group contributed in every part of this project. I felt like we all just worked really well together. Probably been more prepared. Like when we did our first raffle, we drove around for probably half an hour trying to find a spot to set up our table. And start earlier, the time really sneaks up on us. Like it felt like it really snuck up on us. I think we maybe would like to do another raffle because the raffles were very successful, and if we had more time, maybe if there was another home game, do another raffle. And more time to prepare stuff, like I said, but Meatheads, it was really confusing when we tried to do a Meathead fundraiser. Like that night, some of my group members, including myself, was like, what's going on? Is Meathead still a thing? And so that was a little confusing, but mostly just being more prepared is what we probably would have wanted to do differently. Like I just said, be prepared. Get everything ready before it needs to be ready. If that makes sense. Start early, like I said a few minutes ago. It comes fast, and before you know it, it seems like you have all this time to do this stuff, and all of a sudden it sneaks away from you, and crunch time, and you get a little stressed out, and there's a lot to do, and not a lot of time. And get more into it. That's one thing I liked about our group. I felt like we were very enthusiastic and very excited to be raising money for the Boys and Girls Club. The more excited you get and the more enthusiastic you are, the more willing people are to donate and help out, and because they see how much you're getting into it and how much you're enjoying what you're doing. What do we wish we would have known? I wish we would have known how much work this was all going to be. I knew it would be a lot of work, but I didn't know it was going to be this much work, and it's a lot more stressful than you think it's going to be too. I wish we would have known how fast time gets away. We would have been more ready for some events like Meatheads, and the dates just really sneak up on you very fast. I wish we would have known to start earlier and get stuff done ahead of time and really work ahead and move along like smoothly instead of like waiting and all of a sudden it's just a whole bunch of stuff to do and not a lot of time. And other than that, I think we did a really good job. I think we did the best we could, and we made a really great group, and I know that the Boys and Girls Club are really going to appreciate our work and all the money that we raised for them.
I love it when a plan comes together.
The A-Team.
What the hell's that? If you look out on the right-hand side of the aircraft, you'll notice that the right wing is on fire.